it's great to have a real part of the legacy from New Zealand. I've been waiting for a Kiwi to show up. Howden Ganley's been here at Velocity before, so that's another part. We're going to turn our attention now to Group 9. Thank you for coming in. I've got another couple of guest commentators, but thanks for being here.
I'm staying for the parade laps, for the McLaren parade laps.
Well, you hang out then. Well, just hang out with us, and I'm going to bring Martin Lauber and Kevin Buckley in here for now as we take through Group 9. So hang with us.
Thanks very much.
So here we are. We're underway in our Group 9 coverage, and I'm just getting our co-commentators situated. And I'm going to ask both of you. Come on in, boys. Jump on the mics. I'm trying to turn them off while they make a noise. But we're underway with 9 laps to go. And first of all, Martin, you've had a busy day.
I have. I had the privilege and the honor of driving a '76 Penske Formula One car.
Cool.
The only race-winning Penske F1 car, won the Austrian Grand Prix in 1976.
Very nice.
That car belongs to Doug Mockett, who let me use it for this wonderful event. And my dear friend and co-owner of a car is out in this group, Group 9. He's in the number 79 Flying Lizards RSR, Alan Turpin's. So, and I'll be out in a Mini here in about 45 minutes.
I'm going to say you're to finish your day on a high. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that because that's going to be fun. And I've also got Kevin Buckler here, who, of course, well, he's a resident here in Sonoma and a vintner and Adobe Wines, going from strength to strength. But you've also got your own. You know, you've won a fair few Daytonas and IMSAs and obviously Sebrings and you name it. But were you out this morning, right?
Don't forget that little race in France.
Oh, yes, you've won Le Mans. I forgot. No, I know.
That was fun.
I'm well aware. A wonderful history that you've got.
You know, we just got our 66, the overall Daytona winner, fully restored, but I'm in the middle of solving a rotator cuff. So
oh, God.
I drove last time here. It's just an amazing job what Jeff has done, and I just need to be here next time. So.
What were you driving this morning?
I wasn't driving.
Oh, I thought you were out there. I'm sorry. Anyway, great to have you. What have you seen?
Well, I can tell you talk about the track for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember my first time when I had a good finish, and someone offered to build a car for me, and I didn't know any better. So out here training, and I ski a lot too. So like this is moguls. And Laguna Seca's powder. So you don't ski moguls well for 45 minutes, but I did. And I had my very first pro race, and we won flag to flag, but I didn't even think about it because it's hard to drive fast here, but it's really hard to drive really fast here without making a mistake or, doing it whatever. And so I love this is the right configuration, of course.
Oh, we've got an answer. Martin rightly pointing my eye to the fact that we've got some recovery trucks on. Did you see what happened?
No.
We're just looking at the pictures, but we've seen recovery trucks heading out onto the circuit. So I hope nobody from our Group 9 boys is in trouble, but they're still racing. And there's no flags out at the moment. Maybe they're just getting into position, so let's hope. But as we speak, Keith Fraser in the Zytek in LMP1, just ahead of Steve Romack. We just saw that. And Spencer Trenery, who is a regular historic driver. I'm sure you've raced against him before now.
He's raced with us and raced against him.
Yep,
good
I'll
guy.
bet.
No, it's like if you learn how to drive this track well, you can pretty much take those skills almost anywhere. It's like a little bit like this in Mid-Ohio, and then just, you got all sorts of stuff with off-camber and blind corners and big hang-on turn 9 and 10, and so I think it's a great track to learn how to drive.
Adding to the complexity of the track itself is the lateness of the year.
Yep.
These guys are driving. A lot of these guys are, as I was yesterday, going up into turn 2, and the sun is directly in your eyes.
Yeah.
So there's a right turn up there somewhere, and you're just hunting around for it. And so it's unusual for us to be racing, this late in the year.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal weather, and Jeff and his team have done an incredible job. So happy to be here. But that is one little element that none of us were really prepared for.
I know. I was at COTA last weekend, and similar thing with Trans Am and SVRA is that we were racing at 5, 6 at night, and the sun was literally right in your eyes. And so it is hard at this time of year. You're absolutely right to race it, and they're going to resurface it. It is bumping. I think your analogy there of the skiing is a good one because you're right. This is moguls. There's a lot of bumps out there. Which cars do you want to point our audience at, or that you know some?
Well, I've got a car actually. Alan and I co-own a '79 Flying Lizards 997 RSR. But my son, my 7-year-old, this is his favorite car, the one we're seeing here,
Hot
the
Wheels,
Hot
of
Wheels.
course it is.
Yeah, the RSR, the wide body. This thing is so cool. Yeah, it's a very special. I mean, Kevin, you know about these more than I do, certainly. Oh, and there go!
Nice.
Moment.
Faster driver in a GT car. Imagine him not watching his mirrors, you know. So.
And
Well, luckily
we're
that was
under full
avoided.
course yellow too. So
Is that like we had that car, the RSR, originally the first time with the
Sequential box?
Sequential, yeah, it was in 04. Patrick Long drove for us the first time when he came to the U.S. in that car in IMSA. So I don't know what year that one is, but.
Yeah, I had a long chat with Patrick Long recently, and great guy to be sat next to, and probably a great guy to race with. A great racing driver.
It's funny, when he came here, they gave him to us, and he was coming fresh from Europe, and he was an angry little redhead, you know. And I was dad, you know. So.
Oh right.
But it's turned into like he has done such an amazing job of being a representative for Porsche. I'm glad they kept him in American driver doing that, and he's a friend and does a great job on all his shit.
I interviewed Riley Dickinson the other day, who's just won the Porsche Carrera Cup, a young Texan making his way, just 21 years of age. And I said, "What's your ambition?" And it was the first time I'd ever heard this comment. He goes, "I want to be the next American factory Porsche driver since Patrick Long."
Woo.
And I thought, wow, that's a different perspective by a young 21-year-old.
very specific.
Very specific. And also, I want to be in Formula One. I want to be an IndyCar 500 winner. You know, I thought that was really interesting. But what a great ambition. What's happened here, guys? What do you think?
Looks like maybe the 4 GT is off at 3A.
Okay, well, we're under caution, as you can see. The pace car is out, and we've got all sorts of vehicles trying to get to whatever is strewn out on track.
Here in a minute.
Ah, there we go. No. Which car is it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. One of the Fords. So it has come to a conk. It's conked out, sadly. How's the wine going, Kevin?
We are busy. I've really put laser focus in the project, and we're about to finish our foundation. We pour our slab on Thursday. You know, that is, and every time I look at what we've pulled off is not a right word, but what we've done over the course of the last 7 or 8 years to get where we are, we're building, I don't like using the word disruptor. It's like a slapstick tech kid, but we are definitely a disruptor in the wine world right here. We're
good.
Closest city to, you know, the San Francisco, hottest little city in Northern California, Petaluma, right on the riverfront, you know, 15,000 square feet, and we're starting construction.
And that only opened, what, a couple of years ago?
It's still under construction.
Oh, it's still going? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
$25 million later.
Oh, so that's a big undertaking, obviously.
It's big, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on the next year. And I'll do small things with this, but we'll get the team back going again.
Good. Well, a local here to this area, of course, and loves his racing as much as he loves his wine, I'm
Oh,
sure.
he's throwing against that SunTrust car.
Yeah? Yeah, that's a famous car. There's a lot of cars here that you recognize and you think, oh, I remember that car at Daytona, whatever it might be. So, of Martin, and for the drivers out there, who you friends with?
Well, leading the race right now is my friend Keith Freesier, and he's from Canada, and he's been racing all over the world in that LMP1 car. And then in P2 is Steve Romack, who is a fixture here in Northern California, and he was also in our F1 race. Poor guy got a flat tire driving to the grid in his F1 car, and he was P1.
Oh.
So he started dead last, and he's got a little bit of catching up to do tomorrow. But
we were asking
he'll catch
what was
us.
happening to you guys, you know, because we were like,
yeah. And then of course Spencer Chenery in the Daytona prototype in P3 right now, who's, you know, he and his father Bruce have just the wonderful Fantasy Junction over in Emeryville. Most of us have gone there to dream and imagine, or to actually, you know, partake. So yeah, and then as I mentioned, my friend Alan Turpin's he's in 6th position currently. And then a great story, car in 9th position, the number 23 car, the Parmentier brothers.
Yeah, we interviewed them earlier, the Belgian guys.
Yeah, just fantastic. They're quick in everything. Formula Fords, Formula Atlantics, the Cup car.
It's in the blood when you grow up near Spa.
Well, exactly. That's just it. And their father apparently was instrumental in keeping that track going back in the day. So it's in their blood, absolutely.
And I'm sure you've raced against plenty of these guys too, Kevin.
Yeah, it's funny. We almost overlay each other because, yes, we both agree about Spencer, and he drove for us, and I drove against him, and he's just a great guy and a great family, like you said. Going down through here, in my early days, getting started with POC down in Southern California and a great group of guys that stayed together. It was like a homeboys. Doug Barron, I see there. We used to hang and do stuff. Lauren Beggs in 8th, same thing. And then at the bottom there, Kerry Eisenlohr. He's a parts manufacturer. He used to make parts for my early car, the one that we actually won here with, and he's been around a long time, and I'm glad to see him driving. So, yeah, I like this fact that, racing is a family, and we got friends out there and doing stuff, and, again, good job, Jeff, on bringing everyone together.
Guys, you've raced around the world. Jeffrey O'Neill's done something special. 4 years in now. I think he's pulled it off, don't you?
Big time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's so nice to have it, back here in Sonoma too, where it all started.
I agree.
So, and I hope he builds on this location and this way. So, no, he's to be congratulated, and all the people that the team of people that he has working on this.
Yeah.
So it's tremendous.
Well, I've had them wrangling you to come on in here, which is great, because I made a point to both Ryan and to Jeffrey that it's great to sit and talk about it, but that you guys live it and breathe it and have been part of it and succeeded in it, both of you and all of you, and your passion for it needs to come over to the audience, and that's what they're tuning in to hear about, the stories of who you know, the cars that you know, and why that you have this passion for this sport that everybody in this paddock has.
Well, and Jeff really understands that this is entertainment, because he made a wonderful comment in the drivers' meeting. He said, if you're much quicker than everybody, do not drive away and lap the field. He said, it's called an invitational for a reason.
It was actually Rob Kaufman in the number 66, 2016 Ford GTLM that came to a stop at the top of the hill, which caused our pace car, and now we're back under racing again. Freischer in the Zytek and Steve Romack in the Pescarola from 2011 going at it. Spencer Trenerate in the Riley just behind in 3rd position, but the lights are on and they are going hell-bent for leather for the final lap here, as Freischer will have probably bided his time and thought about what to be. Trenerate's coming, in 3rd place, not far away. This is the final lap and the sun is going down. It's a very good point made by Buckler and Martin Lauber there about the shadows here, because very rarely in certain racing circumstances would you get a race at this time of night, especially with these fast cars the way they are. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge coming in and out of the sunlight, especially going uphill and especially coming down under the carousel here, and then right back into the light. But it's nip and tuck here. I've got Stephen Donald right alongside me again, but we're about to do the parade, which will be a little bit slower and a little bit more thought out. But this is a cracking race, isn't it? Lights on and flaring. And the 24 trying to make his way in that Morgan Pescarola from 2011, named after, of course, Henri Pescarola, the absolute doyen of Le Mans over the years. His name will ever be synonymous with Le Mans. But it looks as though, with the laps counting down, and there is the checkered flag. I wasn't sure if it was one more to go, but there is the checkered flag, and sure enough it is the number 20 with the win in the Zytek LMP1 from 2009. That's Keith Freischer of Alberta, Canada.